Greetings everyone, Zannrath here. Welcome back to more Hearthstone. On the week, another Tavern Brawl, and this week it's Randomonium. An encounter at the crossroads, under a mana storm, choose a class, get random cards. Each turn your cards' costs are randomized. And I think this is a first because Randomonium, if I'm not mistaken, is the first Tavern Brawl to be a three-peat. It was used in weeks, I think it was 18, 28, and then a bit of a missed opportunity here at week 39. But, like I said before, the Blizzard usually will wait like 10 weeks or approximately 10 weeks before they use a brawl again. And so, 11 is close to 10. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and jump in there with Warlock, because I need to finish a quest. But I think there's at least two other Tavern Brawls that have been used twice, in addition to now 3 times Randomonium. And that was, one of them was a thematic one, the Nefarian versus Ragnaros, or whatever order that was in. But that's, not one that you can really just kind of use randomly as a filler. And then there was another one that I don't remember the name. It might have been Dex Assemble, but it was used weeks 25, 35, and then in potentially 6 weeks, or I guess 7 weeks if you like the 11 over 10 thing. We might be seeing that Tavern Brawl again, and I guess we'll hold the Drake in case it goes down for cheap. But I think we're going to be seeing a couple repeat Tavern Brawls in the next couple weeks, because Blizzard is going to need all of their development power, because they announced this morning, I think 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, that's fine-ish, I suppose. That's good enough. 4/5 Drake. They announced their new Hearthstone expansion, and I think it's called something along the lines of Whispers of the Old Gods. And they released a couple cards, 6 of them, I think, maybe 5, at least that I've seen. And that's pretty good. I guess I'll have to hit that, and you can't bop that. Destroy 2 random enemy minions, discard 2 random cards. You know what? I don't even care. Bye, Jiraxis. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm not sure why Jiraxis wasn't discarded, because it's pretty good. And Bane of Doom is pretty good too, so really curious why those 2 weren't discarded. But yeah, Whispers of the Old Gods. I think there was 6, maybe 5 or 6 cards. The first half-ish, 2 or 3 of them. I only remember 2. I think there's 3, but I only remember 2. Basically, those cards are kind of based on... They kind of have a similar structure to existing cards, but just different mana costs and stats. So one of them was I think it was a heal bot kind of thing, but it was a death rattle. Hold on, let's see what I want to do here. Guess we'll tap. I guess we might as well discard Jiraxis now. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not discarding Jiraxis. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's bugged. I'm just kidding. I know it's random, but usually if it's a good card, you're going to discard it, right? So I've discarded 3 cards now. That's super great. I'm so behind in tempo. Hopefully I can draw into this big, crazy, stupid things and just, win because of that. Because that's how this brawl works, right? Anyways. Oh man, too bad not discounted. Let's go ahead and tap, see what's up. Go ahead and just silence that. Hit him in the face. But yeah, the first couple cards, so there was a heal block kind of thing. I can't remember the stats or the mana costs, but it was Death Rattle, heal your opponent for 8. It was called some sort of heal bot, but it's basically like a Zombie Chow, right? A bigger Zombie Chow. There was a 4/2 Death Rattle draw card for, can't remember, was it 3 mana, 4 mana? Probably 4 mana, right? 4/2 in stats, and drawing a card off of Death Rattle kind of seems a little much for a 3 mana cost. But that's basically a beefier loot hoarder. Interesting. Sure. So I guess that's not Mirror Entity, maybe? Or it's not, it wasn't Duplicate, so it is Mirror Entity. Yep, that's, I don't know, that's fine. He can't really benefit off that too much, can he? I don't have any minions right now. Let's go ahead and just kill this guy though. Still want to keep that guy alive if I can. Do I want to play this? I guess I'll force him to do something about it if I put it out there now. But yeah, so there was those cards, and then so every kind of expansion, Blizzard usually kind of tries to either expand on a current mechanic or add a new mechanic. And so I think the new mechanic, I'm not sure if this is actually the new mechanic, if it counts as a mechanic or not, but it kind of is based around, alright, let's go ahead and make this play first. Danksteed. Sure. Is it Vaporize? I'll just pass. I really want to. I've never played this card, so I kind of want to keep it around. But so I think it's based around, at least the cards that we've shown, it's based around Cthulhu, which has a battle cry of like whenever he comes in. His battle cry is when he comes into play. Oh, that's too bad. That sucks. So sad. But when he comes into play, he deals his attack power split amongst either all enemy minions or all characters. I don't know, something like that. Kind of like what I think. What's it called? The guys thing. Yeah. Reform's like artifact thing. One of them, right? Like 10 damage split amongst all characters, whatever. Anyways, let's think through this play first. Maybe Mirror Entity? Nope. Vaporize? Nope. I guess it could be Duplicate. So I guess we're not too worried about trading here. Go ahead and tap. I mean, we can just very well get Flame Striked anytime, but so we're not gonna do that quite yet. But yeah, so that was Cthulhu's battle cry, right? Whatever it is, whatever variation. You know, however much attack power he has when he comes into play, his battle cries deal that much damage, split amongst whomever. And then the other cards that they released, two of them, one of them was giving Cthulhu plus 2/2 whenever he is played, and the other one was give Cthulhu 1/1 whenever he is played. I'm not sure why he didn't kill that guy off. I think that guy probably was more valuable to ping off, but sure. We'll do this. So not Duplicate, could be Ice Block. Yeah, we'll hold. Spellslinger into Sacrificial Pact, right? Anyways, so I think that's kind of cool, right? Because I don't think there are many cards that are, you know, interacting with cards that are not in play or in your hand. And like the closest thing I can think of, I mean, there might be other ones, and I just can't think of them right now, is Bolvar, where it's like, you know, he's in your hand, and then as things happen, he gets like buffs. Whereas this is like, you know, you can play these cards, and then whenever you get Cthulhu and play him, all those effects like stack up, right? So it doesn't matter if he's in your hand; he can be in your deck, and you know all that stuff happens. So I think that's something that Hearthstone doesn't really have, is stuff that like, you know, affects things that aren't currently in play. And I guess Emperor Thorazan, you know, he affects things in your hand, right, lowering the mana cost. But this is a different variation of that, which, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this at the end here. I usually random pull, so I guess you guys are used to that. But I think, I don't know, if that's the case, if that's kind of like the new mechanic they're introducing, is like cards that affect things that haven't come into play, that kind of seems like it goes against their kind of game philosophy, in the sense that, you know, they don't like things that are not fun and interactive, right? And so when you play these cards, if that is the new mechanic and there's going to be a lot of them, it has the potential to be kind of not interactive, right? With Cthulhu, you're like, what if you get, like, you know, I don't know how many of these cards are going to be in there, but you could theoretically get Cthulhu to, like, I mean, he start with 6 attack, right? And those 2 cards on their own, which I'm guessing you can have duplicates of, would account for 6 attack, right? So you can already get him with the 3 cards. You can get Cthulhu to 12 attack, and that's like, I mean, that's like what, 40% of someone's health if you have an empty board, and if it is, you know, split amongst enemies, not like all characters. Which, I mean, in that case, it could be balanced out. You can buff them up a lot. But yeah, so like if you're just like, because like a lot of these non-interactive combo decks, right, are basically just like you just have a big hand and like things happen, and then you play them out with no board, and then you all of a sudden have like a big board or like an OTK. And so this, like, whenever and what is it, Mistcaller or whatever, is one of those cards that kind of have an effect in this vein, right? Where it's like all the cards in your hand in your deck are like now +1/1 or something like that, right? But yeah, so if you're gonna have a lot of cards that are like whenever you play this and then it buffs something that you don't know, it could be in their deck, right? It adds a lot of mystery, I think, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, it could lead into these kind of non-interactive things that Blizzard doesn't like. So I'm actually really interested, given that that's their game philosophy. They want things to be fun and interactive, and not fun and not interactive, which I can definitely see this type of mechanic, if it is a mechanic, going towards. So it'd be really interesting to see how they play that out, where you can affect things that, like, your opponent has no way to know. Well, I guess you can assume that if you play a card that's like buffing Cthulhu, then he's gonna be in their deck, right? You can expect that later on. But it's like these things where it's like you play cards and they have no immediate effect, but then you have that down the line effect, right? So you're like investing now in something much bigger later, which is really cool, I think. But that kind of deck, I think, requires, especially since Cthulhu is like I think he was a pretty mana heavy card, like 8 mana maybe, because it was like 6/9 or something, where his stat allocation. So I think he's a pretty, 8 or 9 mana card. So unless there's like more cards that buff like things that are smaller mid game, I don't know how well that new mechanic, if it is a new mechanic, is going to play out, because right now the meta is really aggressive. And so like these, if you're like giving up, actually I don't even remember the stat allocations on those cards. I don't think they were that bad. But like, you can theoretically imagine, like, if it's going to be a really powerful like buff this whenever something happens, you're going to be giving up tempo in the current board state in order to do that. Otherwise it'd be too overpowered, right? You can get like a 2 mana 3/2 that gives something 2/2 later on. That's like pretty strong. Even though it is kind of later on, I also think that one of the cards actually was like a 2 mana 3/2, gives something like 1/1 or 2/2 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, but I hope you can kind of see where I'm going with this. But I am really excited to see what kind of new things are in store with this new expansion, and things are going to get a lot more technically, which I think everyone enjoys, except for a certain subset of fictional characters. We'll just put it that way. Anyways, that was this week's Tavern Brawl. I realistically, I think I sat here for like an hour almost playing games, because I was getting just like destroyed by RNG. Like, people were getting like 2 or 3 legendaries at like 2 or 3 mana a piece, and I was just getting like, I think I had a game where I got like 4 Flame Imps, and I was just like, well, I already did 40% of my health and damage for you, and you get like King Crush for 2 mana or something like that. I think that was one of the games. I don't know. Maybe I might make a video of like all the just random getting bodied games that I played to make this video. But anyways, that's it for this week. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.